And so glad that you're joining me. I'm not going to be with you very long tonight, simply because we will have another session on tomorrow. Um, first of all, I've got some great, exciting news. As you guys know, my daughter-in-law, my son's wife, is pregnant uh, with twins, and just yesterday, very, very, very early in the morning, she gave birth to twin boys. They're a bit early. They're about 5 weeks or so early, but we're excited. God is just so good, and they're getting a little stronger. They're little tiny tiny babies. So listen, I just want you to keep them in your thoughts and your prayers. But we're super excited. We're now the grandparents of twin boys, and they're just so, of course, we could only see them through FaceTime or through uh, pictures, but they just look so, so, so gorgeous, so gorgeous. Yeah, Ashley's joining us from New York. Juliet's joining us from Camden, Delaware. Juliet used to join us from Texas, y'all, but she has now moved to the great state of Delaware. So yeah, thank you, Sonia. Yeah, I'm super excited too. Thank you, Tessa. Super, super excited about my twin boys. And I just can't wait to call them up. It'll be a few weeks before we can actually hold them and see them, but I can't wait. So can't wait to do that. So anyway, what's really cool about that, I guess, I could think of another word besides cool, but what's really wonderful about that is that my sister reminded me that about, it was 90 days ago on the 11th of August that my mother transitioned to be with the Lord, and that was the same day that the twins were born, and the time frame of which she transitioned is also the same time frame in which the twins were gone and were born. And so I don't ever think of that as coincidence. I just think that's just divine intervention. And so I know it's like, woo, so that all gives me peace, and like, oh man, it's just so great. So it was October 11th. Did I say July 11th? Yes, it was July 11th when my mom passed away, which was 90 days ago. The other special thing about October 11th is not only one of my friend's birthday, which I always never remember, but we're not like hooked on remember my birthday. We always get the days wrong. And so her birthday is October 11th. But this is what's even special about October 11th. October 11th is International Day of the Girl. Thank you. Somebody that has Facebook user, I don't know your name, type your name in, but you just said congratulations and thank you very much. Yes. So guys, October 11th, hey, Kathleen, is International Day of the Girl. And I'm super excited about that because as you know, last year we celebrated International Day of the Girl, and we had an entire weekend to where we empowered the girls. We did empowerment activities, transformational activities in the same way that the girls came in. We had about 60 girls, I believe 65 girls there. The same way they came in on that Friday was not the same way that they left on that Saturday afternoon. And so, it was really phenomenal. Of course, this year, thank you, Victoria. Thank you, Sonia. Yeah, mom and son they're doing well. They're doing well. So, hey, Latanya. So, so this year, of course, because of COVID, and of course, my precious twins were born on October 11th. We didn't really get to celebrate International Day of the Girl. So I want to kind of dedicate our conversation tonight. And then, of course, we have a bonus conversation. Hey, Terry, joining us from Delaware, too. We have a bonus conversation that will be taking place tomorrow evening at 7:30. And we have our special guest, Crystal Solomon, which many of you guys know her. You guys know that Crystal is the advocate for girls. She's does so many things. She does her Facebook Live. She's just, she started her international day for the girls in the high school. I think she did it during International Women's Day, right? And she does a lot of things. And so she will be one of our guests. Crystal is now a student, a sophomore at UD, and she'll be joining us tomorrow night, as well as Tracy Palmer. And Tracy Palmer is an advocate for girls. She started her nonprofit organization, and I believe it's called 4G. You want to make sure I get that right. Tracy, if you're on tonight, if you can just write it in chat, that would be great. Hey, Jay Gray. um, so Tracy will be joining us, and Tracy's an advocate for girls. She has a nonprofit program. She mentors young girls, and so I'm super excited to have her join us as well tomorrow night as we talk about the importance of empowering our young girls to greatness, to be on a path for a success. So that's why I'm super excited about tonight, and that's why I played "I'm Every Woman," because our young girls, we are breathing them, we are training them, we're mentors for them, we're models for them, we're motivators for them on how women should be treated and how women should feel about themselves. And so what I love about International Day of the Girl is that the United Nations has given the theme, their voices, our equal future, right? Their voices, our equal future. And I love that theme because their voices, because they have a voice. Yeah, guys, on Facebook, there's a lot of people just hearting it up. And I want you to, please comment, heart it up, give your thoughts, ask your questions, because again, while I'm the one that's on the screen, but this is not a monologue. It is never a monologue. It is always a dialogue. And so I want you to make sure that you ask your questions or you give your comments, because you could have something that's going to help somebody, and someone may have that question, but they just don't know how to ask it, or they don't, they may be shy and they don't want to ask it, but you could. And if I don't have the answer, of course, I'm going to get back to you and I'll tell you, hey, I don't have the answer. I'll get back to you. And you just never know, someone that's on our live could have that answer. So this is it's a dialogue and not a monologue. So please communicate with me through the chat, heart it up, on Facebook, and let us know how you're feeling. Let us know, what's going on. And also just real quick, if you look at the replay, make sure you do it, preference it, hashtag replay, and tell us again where you're joining us from. I do look at the comments, and I do comment back if you make a comment. So please do that. But again, International Day of the Girl was October 11th, which is a Saturday. And I want to say one more time, because it is worth repeating, that's when my twins were born, right? My twins. My son and his wife had their twin boys, Lane and Legend, two beautiful baby boys, very, very tiny. And so I asked that, they were born early. And so guys, just, as you're praying, just keep them lifted up in prayer, that they would gain their strength and their energy, and their breathing, and just everything will come in alignment exactly how God has created them to be, just exact in alignment, their entire body, their systems, and their organs. And also, I want to ask you, I know some of you have possibly read it on Facebook, but I want you to keep my friend Susie Carter, her granddaughter is just fighting for her life, and she's also in the NICU in California at UCLA. And so she's doing better, but every day, we're checking and we're making sure she's still hooked up to all of the ventilators. There's still a possibility that she could have surgery. She's only, I think she's about 16 or 17 days old, guys. And so it's a precious, her name is Naomi. So I'm asking you to just really, pray for Naomi and pray for her parents, because this is a very difficult time. But we know that God is great You know what I mean? We just know that he's great. And so we're going to pray because we believe in the power of prayer. And so I'm asking you to make sure that you put these babies on, on your prayer list or in your thoughts and in your just when you think about them, just whisper something positive, whisper health and whisper strength, for them. All right? So you just so that's it. That's, just do that for me. And that will be great because we're just believing that we're going to see success all around. And I know Susie has been reaching out to everyone and she's been calling in people and saying, hey, y'all, we need you to pray. We need you to send love. We need you to send light. We need you to send energy. We need you to pray where 2 or 3 are gathered, and so, and healing is the children's bread. And so we're standing on all of that, right? Okay. So now, International Day of the Girl, a day of advocacy. International Day of the Girl is where we celebrate and we empower our girls. We empower our girls. We empower our girls, right? That's right, Terry. We empower our girls so they can know that from the day that they were created, that God created greatness in them. And so I love International Day of the Girls because we get to really focus on them. Not that that should be the only day, but that brings it to our forefront, to our attention as to the importance of advocating for our young girls. So I want to read you some information I found, and it says that more than 1.1 billion girls under the age of 18 who will be the largest generation of female leaders, entrepreneurs, and change makers slash change agents the world has ever seen. So in today's society, right now, in the world today, we have more than 1.1 billion girls in today's society, right? In the world, more than 1.1 billion girls under the age of 18 who will be the largest, I want you to hear me, the largest generation of female leaders, entrepreneurs, change agents, change makers that the world has ever seen. And so, my question to you tonight is that are you in the position where you can empower or influence a young girl? A young girl. Are you around young girls to where you can influence them? You see, when I say, are you in the position, I'm not necessarily speaking that you have to be this or you have to be that. No, no, no. I'm speaking of you could just know a young girl. It could be your neighbor's young girl. It could be your daughter, you know? And are you influencing them? Are you empowering them? To let them know to where that they have a voice and they are the future and they are the change agents. They're the change makers. They are the leaders, the entrepreneurs of our future. And this is how I want to encourage you this evening, just for this short session, is that if you are not sure what you should be doing, then let's talk about it because there's so much that we should be doing to empower our young girls today. Listen, since COVID-19 has happened, our young girls, statistics, research it, look at it, since COVID-19 has taken place and they can't get out, socially. And at this age, hey, so Sister Nikki, hey, Melissa, hey, David. So you guys know that um, this is the age where they're very social, and because they can't get out, of course, this tends to bring in um, emotional issues, mental health issues, right? And statistics shows that during this time of COVID-19, to where we're basically locked in for the most part. I don't want to use the word locked in because we're really not. We just have to be very safe as we go out, but we're not as what we are used to. That's how I'm going to say it. We're not how we're used to going around and about. That the increase of sexual abuse and abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse has increased. It's increased. with our young girls, right? And I say with our young girls because that's my focus tonight because of International Day of the Girl, right? Which was Saturday. So our young girls are suffering. There are many of our young girls that are having emotional issues. They're being abused. They're being mentally abused, socially abused, right? They're being sexually abused, right? Hey, Latroy, they're being sexually abused, right? And then sex trafficking has increased. Sex trafficking has increased. And so it is time for us, once again, a few weeks ago, I talked about, what is our influence and what exactly do we do with the dash? And so I want to encourage you that if you are not a part of a program or a part of a mentorship program to where you can mentor and help the young girls get a voice and let them know that their past, if they're living, their past, some of them are living in very negative situations. Some of them they're beaten down and they're told that they can't do this and they're no good and they're not even called their right names. They're being called from one B to another B. And you guys know what a B is, right? You guys know what it is, or they're being called other names that's just very ugly and just can just really affect them emotionally. But despite all of that, our job is to let our girls know that they can rise above any circumstance, that in them, that there is greatness, that from the day they were created, there has always been greatness. And now it's just time for us to help them bring the greatness to the forefront. And I love International Day of the Girl and what it represents because it's about empowerment. It's about fulfillment. It's about giving our girls a voice and helping them and teaching them to speak up for their rights, for equal rights. Right? Because what we do today to empower them and to teach them will help our children and our children's children. Our daughters will help them. And if we're helping our daughters, by the way, we're also helping our sons, because one day many of our daughters will be mothers, right? And so we've got to help them to where they are rising and they know that they can be great in this world, that they are influencer. And so because they're our future, we want to give them the tools that maybe we didn't have as we were growing up as young women and even maybe young men, right? We want to give them those tools. We want to show them the love that maybe we did not feel. And so as I was doing my research and I'm doing my studying, there's so much that there's no way it can be I can discuss it all tonight, and that's why I'm bringing two special guests on tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. A earlier time, just to talk about what empowers them and what they're doing and how they're really helping young girls. One is older and one is a young girl, speaking about her experiences, right? And so when I've talked to different young girls, listen, you think that maybe they don't know, but they have a voice and they know exactly what they want. They know where they are now and where they want to be. And so what we have to do as adults is show them the path, but show them the correct path. And can I tell you this, that many times our young girls, they're hurting. Sometimes they're hurting at the hands of their parents, their mothers, their fathers, loved ones. But many times they're hurting at their hands because their parents never had that love or that peace. And so they themselves don't know, how do I teach my daughter this? Because this is how it was taught to me. And so what I want to say to that is that we're in a day and a time to where we can break, and I want to call them, we can break the cycle, right? We can break that cycle of abuse. We can break that cycle of sexual molestation. We can break that cycle of emotional abuse and mental abuse. We can do this simply by how we're treating and what we're speaking into young girls' lives, how we're speaking positive things to them, how we're telling them that they can make it, and how we're giving them the tools to where they can handle day-to-day life situations, whether they're being bullied in school or bullied at home. right? Statistics shows that even more. This is now speaking about girls around the world. I want to read this part to you. Is that girls around the world, all over the world, and this is happening in America as well, because sometimes we think that it's everywhere else, but it's not happening in the United States of America. But it is. It is. So statistics shows that on the rise with our young girls is violence in the home, sexual harassment and abuse, sex trafficking, child marriages. We know that's happening here, right? Um, Female genital uh, mutilation, right? So, guys, it's happening, and it's happening here, and it's crimes against our young girls, and our young girls are feeling as if they don't have a voice. And so what's happening is that their childhood trauma that many of them are experiencing right now, they're suppressing it and they're suppressing it and they're suppressing it. And if they don't have a safe place to where they can talk about it, if they don't have a safe place or a mentor that they can trust, someone that's not going to judge them, but to accept them for exactly who they are and to mentor them and to speak with them. If they don't have that, they're going to keep suppressing that. And one day it's just going to come out, and it's not going to be in a good way. Right. And so this is what I want to say. As we are looking at, you know, what we can do, we're almost at the ending of 2020. And so I want to challenge you, is what can you do to help a young girl between now and 2020? How can you mentor a young girl? Are you listening to them? Come on, guys. I'm not seeing your comments. Are you still here with me? Let me know that you're still here. Comment. Tell me, what are your thoughts? How can you maybe step out of your comfort zone and reach out to at least one young girl? And maybe you may not know what young girl, but is there an organization, that you can reach out to? There's Zoe Ministries. They handle sex trafficking. There's a Tracy Palmer that's coming on tomorrow night. She's got her mentoring program, her nonprofit agency that you can reach out to. But how can you help a young girl, give them a voice? Sonia says, we're here. Exactly. We have to be here for our young girls. We have to. And by the way, if we help our young girls, because someone says, well, what about the boys? The boys, yes, they do. But today's International Day of the Girls. And the bottom line is, when we're coming to discrimination, when we're coming to when they're coming to sexual harassment, sexual, molestation, it's the young girls, guys. Nikki says, I am donating my books to women prisons and juvenile facilities that houses girls. Awesome. That's an influence right there. I celebrate you, Nikki. I celebrate you. Guys, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm here and open. So great. So we've got people that saying, I'm here and open. And I want to challenge you to get a girl. If you don't know, I've got a couple of girls that need a mentor, need someone to speak positive things into their lives, because they don't have anyone to do that. They're in an environment that's toxic for them. Toxic. And my concern is that if they remain in that environment, that they're going to die. And I don't necessarily mean a physical death, but a spiritual death, an emotional death. They're going to have all types of anger, and so many issues. And so we want to reach out, because our girls are our future. Our girls are our leaders. And you heard what the statistics say. More than ever in the world today, there are over 1.1 billion girls under the age of 18 that will be female leaders. They'll be entrepreneurs. Come on, guys, think about all the leadership rule. And we want them to have a voice, and we want them to be treated equally. We want them to have equal pay. We want them to be able to get a good, solid education in the field of their choice. In the field of their choice. So yes, Melissa, the first thing is to listen and ask them, what are their plans? Because you know what? They probably are saying, what are my plans? I don't have a plan, because all they can really see is the situation that they're in right now. And so if I'm living in my situation and my situation isn't very positive, what plan do I have? I would tend to feel as if I can't get out. Right? Nikki says that she's covering all 50 states. Yeah, listen, guys, connect with Nikki. Find out. Donate books to her. Buy some of her books so she could send it to the other prisons. Or, you know what, just give a donation. Or find out, what prisons are in your areas while she's researching and saying, hey, this is a juvenile center here. Let me give you this information. It's needed. It's needed. And it's so time for us to come together as human beings and make sure that we take care of our younger children, our younger girls. Our girls are going to be mothers one day and they're going to give birth to sons, right? Yeah. And our sons will also be leaders. You see, it's all connected. It's all connected as we're living in this universe in the human race. We have got to be able to come together so our girls can live a better life. And so for International Day of the Girl, which again, it happened on Saturday, and we didn't hear a lot about it simply because of COVID and especially in the US. Let me just put it this way. In the US, we did not hear a lot about it because the focus has not been on that, right? But I want to draw the attention to that. I want to draw the attention to say, hey, we've got our girls. Just last week, I heard a story of a young girl who's having a rough time in her home, in her home, and to where she doesn't want to live anymore. She wants to run away. And so that's a girl that someone needs to stretch out and say, let me help you. Let me talk to you. Right. And so I want to encourage you guys. Oh, Melissa says, and that's when we have to give them some good advice. Yeah, but we have to listen. The first thing is we listen, and we have to be careful how we are. And I agree, we do give them good advice, but we don't want ever our advice to where it's something that's not reachable for them. You know what I mean? And so we give them advice, but we want to mentor them. Right? We always want to make sure that we empower them. And part of empowering them is giving them choices, letting them know that they have a choice in this world. Whenever a person feels as if they don't have a choice, then you disempower them. They don't feel empowered at all, and they feel as if they get out. And many of our girls right now feel as if they don't have a choice. They don't have a choice. We want to let them know, yes, there is a choice. So you're absolutely right, Melissa, that we want to give them good sound advice. And part of that good sound advice is saying, yes, you have a choice in what you want to do and where you want to go. The sky is the limit for you. It may not look like it, but it is the limit. The sky is the limit for you. So join me tomorrow night, guys, at 7:30 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. Right here, I will be broadcasting it on all of the channels. Make sure you share it because we want people to come. We want to raise the awareness of what's going on so people can get involved and get in action with our young girls and to empower them, to help them feel fulfilled, to help them feel as if there's absolutely nothing that they cannot do. I like this word, empowerment, fulfillment of girls' rights, that they have rights. They have rights and that they have a voice. And that what we want to do in many times when we felt, even as little girls, that we did not have a voice, we want to make sure that they are having a voice. So I've got some people on here that I know have different agencies. So Nikki, if you could put your information, Sonia, if you could put your information, Terry, put your information, right, to where people can reach out and say, hey, listen, can I get information or how can I mentor? There's so many organizations around that where girls can be mentored. I don't know if Tracy is still on here, but if she's not, she will be back tomorrow night and she will have her information for you, right, to where with her girls mentoring program. So I'm super excited. I want you to join me when you come. Bring your pen, your pad, and your paper, and let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's have a dialogue, right? And let's see what they have to say tomorrow night. I'm also going to give you some information to where places you can connect. How can you be a mentor? What can you do? And so Sonia and Terry, definitely I'll be reaching out, right? Terry's got her number there. Make sure that you call her, and let's do this, guys. Let's empower our young girls. Let's let them know that they can make it. Let's get them educated, right? And let's give them the skill sets needed where they can be successful. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Join me every Monday night again. Join me tomorrow night. Don't forget to connect with me on fddwomen.com. So I say that. I have to spell it out, guys. So connect with me connect with me there and join me on my blog, in my newsletter. If you have not downloaded my free course, Created for More, go on to fddwomen.com and download the free course. Stay tuned. We've got so many juicy things coming up. We'll be making announcements coming soon. Invite your friends, invite someone to be with us tomorrow night. I love you guys. I thank you for coming on. I will see you tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. And come on, let's dance it out. Are we playing I'm Every Woman? Yeah.